Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Alert 2 with me, Heard 37. So jumping back in the Duke, as I like to call it, and we're going to be going from Jacksonville, KJAX, over to our base, well both of them are our base obviously, to our base in Hilton Head Island, KHXD. Only about 116 miles, so pretty short flight. Pays really good. It's 1,510 pounds of televisions, and it pays 24 grand. So a pretty good paying flight. I'm trying to save up some money. The next plane, I'll show you here. It's going to be the Chieftain. Right, there we go. From Alabama, the PA-31-350 Chieftain. As you can see, it's going to cost about 564 grand. And right now, we're here at 706, so we've got plenty of money. However, today's the 27th, and tomorrow is one of our big paydays. The 28th is we're going to owe some money. Look over here real quick. The finances. 496,000, but that's not all due tomorrow. I kind of wish it was all due tomorrow, because I don't really know when everything else is due. Because whenever you buy a base or plane, it goes 30 days from that date. Instead, I would kind of wish it would just like all go from the same date. But it doesn't. So I don't know how much exactly we owe tomorrow. But after that, maybe we can start, I think, to get some more planes. We won't be able to buy two, which kind of sucks. Because I like to buy one for cargo and one for passengers. Man, this, by the way, this freaking Cessna Skyhawk keeps getting dinged up. I'm glad I just saw that, because somebody just nailed it again. Our most experienced AI pilots captain that plane. Here's Zach. He's our highest rated pilot. He's a 19 type rating examiner. Look over here at his logbook. Look at him just drilling that plane. Landing was catastrophic on the 22nd, the day before. Broke something. Down on the 4th, just a few weeks, moderate damage. Something broke. A few days before that, something broke. A few days before that. I'm going to have to, like, fire this guy. Because he is just destroying. Look at that. Let's take a look at Maya real quick. And Nicole. She's not quite as bad. She's an 18, just one level under him. She hasn't been quite as bad. Because, you know, some of this does date back a little. That's December. So not quite as bad. And then Nicole, she must have just nailed it. Yeah, today, I thought it was a little bit better than that. Heavy damage. 6 days before that, moderate damage. She hasn't been near as bad, though. And only 2 months less experience. I'm getting really annoyed by these pilots, though. Some of these people are going to have to find new jobs. Like, look at that person. Well, this person probably hasn't been around very long. But, I mean, they're not bad. But they're definitely doing more damage than they used to in air hauler. Now, he fixed something and made them, I thought, less. But maybe that needs to be tweaked again. Because my pilots, even though they're good, they're just destroying those planes. And it's just a Skyhawk. So, kind of annoyed. Anyhow, let's look at our flight right here. Jacksonville to Hilton Head. With the wind here coming out of the south, we're going to take off on runway 31. That's a heading of 316 degrees. And in Hilton Head, we're going to land on runway 21. Heading of 213. So we'll come up here, get in on the basic. I don't know if we need to come straight in on the basic. I think we can. I don't think we have to enter over at the mid and go up. I think we can just come straight in on the downwind. And then turn base and then final. Yeah, heading 213 degrees. And airport elevation is about sea level. I'm not sure how many feet it is, but it's right there. 16 feet, yes. So basically sea level. I've already got this thing loaded up. Let me make sure there isn't anything else going there. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and fly this thing. We're going to be in the number 2. That's that blue and white livery. And I'm going to have to move over because I'm somewhere else, so they'll move me over. You can see we've already got loaded. It's got 530 miles worth of fuel, so we don't have to mess with that. If anything, we take some out, but we won't. We should ferry fuel. I don't even know how much is there. VFR, let's go, what do you say, maybe 11.5 or so. Last position, I don't think we want to use last position because I didn't land there last time. Went somewhere else. These are all listed as gates. Usually parking's at the end, so I'll come down here. General aviation small. Go to number 3 right there. VFR, let's change the time. I'm going to change that to PM. 4 p.m. That takes us, what, around noon or 11? I can't remember if it's -4 or 5 for us. But, alright, so let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright, everybody, here we are at the plane. And I, got in here and I forgot, I just did a fresh reinstall, so I totally forgot to save the camera for this thing. So I got in here, I started setting the camera up, and daggone that stupid drive that I have, unbooted itself or whatever, and so I had to actually end up restarting the computer and everything. I hope that thing isn't going to be another problem right now. As you can see, we're kind of in the grass because Air Hauler 2, I haven't imported the scenery in there, so they just kind of put me where they think it is, and of course then you get to the scenery, it's not really where it's supposed to be, but that's alright. And so I don't have any outside views, but that's alright. Go ahead and put the parking brake on. Everything needs to be turned off. I've yet to even fire this thing up since I did the fresh reinstall. So let me just make sure everything's off. I think it is. I think everything else is off. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started. Prop controls, full forward. Mixture controls are an idle cutoff. Battery switch. Although it's been a little while since it's been a week, not that long, since I've flown this plane. This battery switch is on. Boost pump. Let's go for the left. That thing's going crazy. Boost pump is on. Let's go to start the engine. Throttle. Approximately a ½ inch open or so. Full forward for a couple seconds. To the left. Alright. The mags. Giving her fuel. Alright, it looks good there. Throttle about 1,000 to 1,500, so we're good there. Oil pressure, we're above the red line, so that's good. Generator, we can go ahead and switch that one on. And the fuel boost pump can come off. Now, for the right engine, use those together. Bring this up. I'm going to go immediately take it back down. And give her, hit the mags I should say, and give her fuel. I have no idea how that happened. I'm using the scroll, mouse scroll. So that's good there. 1,000 to 15, we're good. We got oil pressure. Let's go ahead and flip on the generator and turn that off. Man, this is going crazy. I don't know what. All those are going crazy. I turn those, and that settled that one. Odd. Alright, so the engines are started up. By the way, see it? Oh, I always forget that because it doesn't mention it. I'm going to go ahead and turn my nav and beacon on. Beacon should already actually be on. Alright, let's go ahead and test this real quick. Look at the loads here. See those go up. We'll flip the battery off. It's alright running on the generator, so we'll turn those on. Turn the battery back on and turn those off. Let's go ahead and windshield heat. Pitot heat, left and right. Stall heat. And prop heat. Alright, so looks like let's turn the avionics on. Maybe that'll Yeah, that got it. I didn't notice them doing that before. Maybe they did, I just never noticed it. It's kind of freaking me out there for a second. I was like, oh no, don't tell me something screwed up. I did the reinstall. I won't have to reinstall it again, this plane. There we go. Got those messages off. I'm gonna hit that VFR, that's in standby. That all looks good. Lights as required. Temperature in the cabin, I'm not gonna worry too much about. Annunciator warning lights, go ahead and test that. That's good. Instruments, we'll go ahead and check. Let's go ahead and set everything. Altitude 11.5. Yeah, she jumped big time. 11.5. Runway heading. I want to say it was 316. Better check it. Yeah, 316. There we go. And we're in. I put it for GPS and the navigation. So that looks good. Alright, so we're ready to taxi. I'm going to flip on the taxi light and bring my yoke back. I have no idea where the runway is. We'll have to look again here in a minute. Parking brake is off. Oh man, we're probably like way away. Let's look at this thing real quick. So it's open to our left, it kind of looks like. Now I gotta get you off somehow. There we go. Alright. I don't know how we're gonna get there exactly. I hope we don't have to taxi up and around a whole lot of stuff. Probably out here and around the buildings. Lots of clouds out there, and after I did my reinstall, I'm kind of happy I did the clouds textures again. I talked about I wasn't really happy with the last set. These look really good. Well, the thing is, where's runway 31? That's gonna be 31 right there, but that looks like it's behind us. See, there's another runway up ahead. I guess we've got to go on up ahead anyway. That just dead ends right there at that building. I obviously don't know this airport at all. Jacksonville. Heck, I've only been here a few times. Ever. Yeah, we're gonna have to go out over here. No matter what. So it kind of seems like the runway is actually back behind us, but to get there, you have to taxi around all these buildings to get back around. Would have been nice if there was like a taxiway on the backside there. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. It does look like this is the general aviation area, though. So I just wish I knew what what runway that is. I don't think it's ours because of the direction. Yeah, that's got to be the other one, I believe. Let's taxi on over. Yeah, I don't have World of AI installed. It's just stock scenery for the planes. However, there's more planes when you do it that way. At least general aviation wise and everything. Actually both, it seems. You got some guys sitting over there. Yeah, I got some planes on the move over here, it looks like, as well. It just sucks that some of those, you know, are stock planes that come with the sim. And see, they're going to be over at the other daggone end. So we're taking off in that direction. They're taxiing to take off in that direction. And there's a lot of them. Look at all those planes on the move. We don't usually get that, but today we are. I gotta say, I really do like it. Okay, so it looks like we can't even, we gotta go out to the right. Yeah, I don't like all this taxiing around, that's for sure. See, there's a runway sign over there. I wish I could freaking read it. It's not 31 because ours is diagonal up to the right. By the way, we should check the temperature down here. Is it because if it's 90, we want the boost pumps on. Looks like it's at just above 80, so we're good there. Alright, see, yeah, we're on the backside. Usually we come in over there on the other side. So, yeah, so we literally had to come back over this way. There's no way to cut over there. That's terrible. You know, they could, if they would have just had a little taxiway over there, we could, it would have been all fine. We could have got, we'd already be in the air right now. That's a bad design to me. Why wouldn't you just put a taxiway over there? Just cut over to that runway. Save time and fuel and everything for everybody. Although I guess for general aviation, or I mean commercial, wouldn't really matter because they're not going to be over in that area. But for general aviation, it'd be really nice. Yeah, they're taking off in the other direction. Oh well, hopefully they won't be in the way when we're ready to take off. It looks like there's a fair amount of planes over there. I'm gonna taxi straight on through. So we're over at the main gate area. Sorry it's taken so long. Nothing I can do about it. Like I say, I think that's just a bad design. There goes Orbit. Another Orbit. See, it is really nice to have those planes, more planes in here, especially general aviation at the smaller airports. It just sucks that there are stock ones. Rotate. V2. Alright, so that's our runway right over there. That would probably be the easiest way, but it's pointed the other way. There's high speed exits. Yeah, this part of the airport over here is kind of a dead area. It was when we had World of AI installed and everything too. I'm not really sure how big the airport is. There's so many, you know, big airports in Florida. I'm not really sure how important Jacksonville is. I would think it would be fairly important, though. Because Jacksonville is a big area. So I have to imagine it's fairly important. It's probably not as important as Orlando and Miami. But I would figure it's also more important than somewhere like, say, Daytona Beach. I'm not sure. Tampa would probably... I don't know actually with Tampa. And where's that Hollywood? I can't remember. We actually have that one. Hollywood Airport. That's a pretty big airport. I don't see anybody over there, but I think they're on further down. Alright, we can get on the runway right over here. We'll do our quick run up. And finally, we'll be on our way. Seems like it's taking quite a while. Way to literally taxi clear around. Like we started out like right over on the other side of those buildings right over there. That's why I say it was such a crappy design. Making people taxi clear across the airport, around the airport. Alright, so this says it's runway 32. I think I remember that. Being that little discrepancy of 31 and 32. Alright, stop her right over here. Parking brake coming on real quick. There's somebody taking off. Alright, warm up 1,000 to 1,500 RPM. So we're good right there. Fuel boost on. Another one of those points. Alright, fuel selectors. Crossfeed, it says for about 10 to 15 seconds. So we'll do that for a second. I don't know if I want to wait the full 10 or 15. Back to on. Alright, we'll check our flight controls. Instruments are all set except the transponder. I guess I'll go ahead and turn that on altitude. Flaps. They're set. Prop sync is off. Autopilot, we're actually going to check that. Throttles. 2,000 RPM. Alright, this is where it starts to get finicky. Maybe a little too high. There we go. Let's check the mags. Looks good for the right engine. Left engine as well. Let's bring this down. Let's check our pressurization, because we are going up above 10,000, so I think it's going to want us to set that. All right, aircraft altitude 12, 11. That looks good right there. Can't get the. I think you have to adjust that while you're climbing. I'll check. Throttles 1,500 RPM. So bring them down. All right, we'll check the feather. There's the drop. So that looks good. Gyro pressure and load meters. Load meters look pretty good. The gyro pressure, we've looked for that before. I know where it is, but offhand I can't think of it. believe there it is. Gyro pressure right there, so that's good. Throttles go back to idle. Alright, so let's go ahead and check for a takeoff. Strobes. Landing lights. Parking brake coming off. Only problem is anyone... Are they all done down there? Because I can't really take check down there, and since I don't have my outside views, I can't check it that way either. That guy looks like he's taxiing. So he may have just landed. Which would be a good opportunity for us to get on out of here, because that other plane is going to wait a little bit for him to get off the runway. Or we might just get flown into. Hopefully he's gonna take that taxiway and not come all the way down here. Yes, there he goes. Alright, nobody's entered the runway on the other end either. I think that other plane might actually wait for us. Let's get on out of here. Airspeed's alive. Let's go ahead and rotate. Positive rate, gears coming up. Almost at 120 knots, retracting the flaps. Nice, now we'll make our right turn. Maybe should have gone out a little further before we started our turn. Actually, I'm pretty sure we should have. Alright, climbing at 1,500 feet a minute. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back. About 35 and a half there. And let's bring these back. I think 91's where you want it. Deck on it. $27.50 at $27.54. Let's cut back over to the right. Yeah, the only thing about taking off in this direction is you don't get any scenery. We discovered that last time we took off from this direction. I guess everybody's on the other end, towards the ocean. Like I say, I don't have any outside views made, because I wanted to get this slide in. Daggone hard drive giving me fit, so I'm gonna go buy a SATA cable if I can tomorrow. The only thing is, like, where do you buy them nowadays if you don't get them online? Like, there's no Radio Shack or anything. So I'll check Walmart, but I'm not sure. I thought Walmart said they didn't have any online. It's the problem of Amazon, everybody owning everything. Where are those stores now? yaw damper, autopilot, flight director, heading. Alright, for the altitude, vertical speed, it's climbing about 1,100 feet a minute. Then once we get over there, we'll set it over to nav. I think we're high enough. We'll go ahead and turn prop sync on. I'm going to turn the fuel boost off. You know what I never did? Was the cow flaps. Never did open those. I should have. I figured there was something missing over there, and there was. Alright, so we're about 4,300 feet. Let's go ahead and lean this, start leaning this. I'm going to put this about 85. 82 will work. I don't like how that jumps around like that. Let's see how long. About 108 nautical miles, only about 39 minutes. It's a real quick flight to Hilton Head. Not too far in between the bases. And we got to start thinking pretty soon about where our next base is going to be. I mean, we're going to buy another plane. I guess we'll buy the planes before the base, which means we'll be in this plane a little bit longer because of the money. And tomorrow is Friday. On Saturday, I'll have everybody get in their type ratings. That's what I've been doing the past couple weeks. When everyone's done on Saturday, I cancel them out of all their jobs and I start getting them their type ratings in every plane. So any pilot will be able to fly any plane, no matter what, which will help, I think, when we get a lot bigger and have a bunch of planes. We won't have to worry about, oh, is this person capable of flying this plane and all that. They'll all be good for every single plane. Of course, that also costs us money. Each type rating is, several $1,000s, I do believe. Well, yeah, actually, it's more as the plane gets bigger, the more you pay. Alright, we're up around 6,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and lean this out to about 70. And we can go ahead actually and turn that taxi light off. Oh, that thing is still in the way. Taxi light off. Everything looks good. Speed's coming down a little bit, but that's alright. We'll keep climbing at 1,100. Gosh, I gotta say, this plane is so fun to fly. So I don't mind that we're gonna be in a little extra. Now that we got the gear fixed and everything, that was a travesty to figure out. I know everything's good and it's really, really fun to fly. Put it down to 1,000 a minute. And I tell you what, since there's nothing really to see, we've got about 4,000 feet to go. I'm going to go ahead and speed her on up, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody. Going in here to Hilton Head. We're going to go off just off to the right a little bit. We'll fly about a heading of about 0.33 degrees. Coming down to 1,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and turn prop sync off. I thought I broke the plane at one point. Friggin', I meant to go and adjust my mixture down and actually end up hitting the RPM switch. Oh, man. All of a sudden, the plane started slowing down and everything. I was like, oh, no, I broke it because it was making some weird noise. Alright, pressurization looks good. Fuel boost pumps, let's go ahead and turn those on. Mixers are full rich, props are at 2750. So everything looks good. Let's bring the power down a little bit and slow down. There's the runway right there. It'll come out over the sound. Alright, so the heading of the runway is 213. I'm going to go out just a little bit further. Flaps coming out, a little more power now. Autopilot off. I don't need that thing jumping around at this point in time. A little more power here. Let's go ahead and turn. We're probably just sing a little quick here because we went out a little far. Gear's coming down. I should have put the gear down before we actually turn. You're not really supposed to put gear down during a turn. One more power here. I'm afraid we might have gotten a little low. See how far we missed the turn as well. I'm gonna bet we're gonna have to go way to the left. Yeah, and we are a little low. More flaps. Alright, so we're at full flaps. I don't know, we must have drifted left before we turned, or maybe I'm not making tight enough turns, because wow, we were way over. By the way, I love those halos on these lights. I set that up with Rex and they look really good. A little more power here. Don't want to descend much. I want to slow that descent a little bit. Alright, we're on the glide slope. Pull back on the power just a little bit. Maybe slightly fast. Seem to come in a little fast with this plane every time I fly it. Not bad. It always seems a bit hard with this plane, but I think that's probably because of the sound and the effects. If I'd have gotten on the brakes earlier, I could have made that taxiway. I thought we had to go way down. Unfortunately, no, that was the one I wanted to take. Retracting the flaps. By the way, stop the recording. Yeah, but all in all, that seemed pretty good. Flared at the last second. It might have been a little pitched up, I'm not really sure. That actually seems like we don't pitch up as much in this plane. I don't know if it's because of the speed or what, but we seem to actually do a lot better with this plane, I've noticed. When we actually have the gear down, that is. Alright, it's 81, so we don't need the fuel boost on. The strobes, the landing lights, don't need. Open up our cowl flaps. And we should be good for that taxi. Taxi on down to the left. Transponder goes to standby. Yeah, so we got some more planes here now at our base. Some of those, well, I was gonna say one or two might actually be ours, but I'm not actually sure about that. That's like, looks like a King Air, the default King Air 350. We don't have one of those. Because we do have passenger flights coming out of Hilton Head. I think we actually have one going to Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. That could actually be one straight ahead. The liveries might get messed up because I don't. Remember we have to switch over to the A to A, and I got to switch those liveries the way I made a tutorial and I haven't switched them, but like you're supposed to, like I'm supposed to. Turn right here. Come on, girl. Alright, you're supposed to go once you land max RPM, because I know we're not well way out on the ground. We haven't done that. I should have turned the defroster off. Parking brake coming on. Did I not go on? Alright, it is. Just didn't look like it. Alright, shutdown parking brake is set. Battery check condition. I don't know if it wants us to check that again. I don't think it does. Taxi light off. Electrical and avionics equipment off. Turn that off. Inverter as well. Alright. Cap temp mode, we don't have to worry about that. Prop, low pitch. High RPM, throttles to about 1,000. Actually, we have to bring them up a little bit to get them to 1,000. Fuel boost pumps are already off. Mixtures, idle cutoff. Magnetos, you get to cut off. Luckily, we made it without any problem with our that hard drive. Battery and generators, you guys get to come off. Battery, you're off as well. And it looks like everything is shut down here. Alright, cargo, fuel unloading. Go ahead and unload this. Get paid. Made some pretty good money. Was it 24 grand or so? Finish the flight monitoring. Alright. Yeah, it's a quick flight, man. Only 40 minutes in that? That's just awesome. Took off at 5:14, landed at 5:55. Takeoff fuel, 599 pounds. Landed with only 424, so it doesn't take much fuel either. Max altitude, 11,511. Max pitch, negative 12.67. Max roll, 27.15. Max speed, 196.2 knots. Minimum G is 0.90. Minimum G is exceeded 0. Max G is 1.77. Max G is exceeded 0. Stall false, overspeed false, landing description okay. Gear down true, land on asphalt. Surface damage 0, landing damage. We did come down pretty hard though. Pretty fast, 236.9 feet a minute. It does seem a bit hard. Landing speed 80.14 knots. Landing pitch negative 5.8. Landing roll negative 0.34. Landing heading 212. Landing wind speed 3 with wind direction of 172. So yeah, a little fast on the touchdown. Like I said, I thought it might be, but kind of hard to tell. But another 24 grand, that really does help. We're up to 731 now. I hate how sometimes, what is this now? Showing the background on the desktop. Alright, see, it doesn't really show us. So hopefully, though, the finance will already have this in there. Ledger. 728, which is amazing considering it's still the 27th. And there's us right there, televisions. I don't know how we're down here when the last. How can, yeah, we just landed. How is that already there? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They've collected money in the future. An addition of 24,000 there for our job. So that's a nice thing though, being at our base, there'll be more jobs. Won't have to fly anywhere, have anyone position me or anything like that. She's going to bring in 22 grand, Caitlin, when she gets done. And hopefully it'll be something good. Like I said, we're probably going to be in this plane for a little while. If we go by at least one plane, maybe two, it's going to cost over $1 million. Then to get another, well, I guess we will get out of it pretty soon. It's just, well, we won't have any more bases for a little while. Tallahassee, I think we actually have scenery now for Pensacola. We've got so much scenery. Daytona Beach, Miami, Tampa, Orlando. There's another one in Miami. I can't remember where that Hollywood, I can't remember the name of that. Key West, we've got scenery for that. All kinds of scenery down here. I don't know where we'll be next for our next base. I'm kind of thinking Pensacola because it wouldn't be that expensive. Like some of these others are going to be expensive. I'm not sure how much Daytona Beach will cost. But like Miami and Orlando, those are going to be really expensive. So it's going to be kind of not really wanting to do that. I can't remember where Tampa is. I'm looking for Tampa and I don't see it anywhere. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I will catch you guys on the next flight.